الدولية للجواز العربي في نسختها 14 والشوط الثالث. المباراة بعمر سنتين القسم ده. ويسعدنا ايضا او يشرفنا نرحب بالشيخ محمد بن سعود القاسمي اللي يشرفنا بالحضور والمشاركة في هذه البطولة. ايضا الاخوان اللي موجودين يا اهلا وسهلا بكم، ونتمنى لكم ان شاء الله قضاء اوقات سعيدة وامتعة ان شاء الله من خلال ما يقدم على مدى 3 ايام في هذه البطولة، ونتمنى للمشاركين كل الفوز. ايضا معك رسالة من رئيس اللجنة العليا المنظمة لهذه البطولة. الاخوان المشاركين اللي موجودين هنا اللي عنده اي استفسار اي ملاحظة اي شيء، اعضاء اللجنة كلهم متواجدين، بامكانكم مخاطبة اي واحد منهم. كل التوفيق للجميع ان شاء الله.
horse number 69, Dala, owned by the Muhdab Stud. For type, 19, 19, 19, 18.5, 18.5, 19, and 19. For head and neck, 18.5, 19, 19, 18.5, 18.5, 19, and 18.5. For body and top line, a unanimous score of 18. For legs, 15.5, 15.5, 16, 15, 15, 16, 16. For movement, 19, 19, 19.5, 19, 19.5, 19.5, and 19. With a total score of 90.40 points for horse number 69. Number 70, Canary BHM, owned by Ali Benhanan Al-Mazrui. For type, 18.5, 18, 18, 18.5, 19, 19, and 19. For head and neck, 19, 18, 18.5, 18.5, 19, 18.5, and 19. For body and top line, 18, 17.5, 18, 18, 18, 18, and 18. For legs, 16, 15.5, 15.5, 15.5, 16, 15.5, and 15.5. And for movements, 18.5, 18.5, 19, 18, 18.5, 19, and 19. With a total score of 89.60 for horse number 70. The results for horse number 71, Juri Al Badair, owned by Sheikh Mohammed bin Saud Al Qasimi. For type, 19.5, 19.5, 19, 19.5, 19, 19, and 19.5. For head and neck, 19.5, 19.5, 19.5, 19.5, 19, 19, and 19.5. For body and top line, 18, 18.5, 18, 18, 18, 18, and 18. For legs, 15.5, 16, 16, 16, 15.5, 16, and 16. For movement, 19, 19.5, 19, 19, 18.5, 19.5, and 19, with a total score of 91.70 for horse number 71. Results for horse number 73, Faridat Al-Bastan, owned by the Al-Bastan Stables. For type, 19.5, 19.5, 19.5, 19.5, 19.5, 19.5. For head and neck, 19, 19.5, 19.5, 19.5, 19.5, 19.5, and 19.5. For body and top line, 17.5, 18.5, 18, 18, 18.5, 18, and 18. For legs, 16, 16, 16, 16, 16, 15.5, and 16. For movement, 19, 19, 19.5, 19.5, 19, 20, 19, with a total score of 92.30 for horse number 73. number 74. Durat Al-Hawaja, owned by Dr. Ghanem bin Mohammed Al-Hajri. For type, 19, 19, 19.5, 19, 19.5, 19.5, 19.5. For head and neck, 19, 19, 19.5, 19.5, 19.5, 19.5, and 19.5. For body and top line, 18, 18.5, 18.5, 18, 18, 18.5, and 18. For legs, 15.5, 15.5, 16, 15.5, 16, 16, and 15.5. And for movement, 18.5, 18.5, 19, 18.5, 18.5, 19, and 18.5. For the total score of 91.20 for horse number 74. Results for horse number 75. Kamuna Al-Zubair, owned by Sheikh Abdullah bin Mohammed Al-Thani. For type, a unanimous score of 19.5. For head and neck, 19.5, 20, 19.5, 19.5, 19.5, 19.5, and 19.5. For body and top line, a unanimous score of 18. For legs, 15.5, 16, 16, 15.5, 16, 16, 15.5. And for movement, 19.5, 19.5, 19.5, 19.5, 19.5, 19.5, and 19. With a total score of 92.30 for horse number 75. Results for horse number 76, D. Ajayib, owned by the Dubai Arabian Horse Stub. For type, 20, 19.5, 19.5, 20, 20, 19.5, 19.5. For head and neck, 20, 19.5, 20, 20, 20, 20, 19.5. For body and top line, 19, 18.5, 18.5, 18, 18.5, 18.5, and 18. For legs, a unanimous score of 16. For movement, 19, 19, 19, 19.5, 19.5, 19.5, and 19.5. With a total score of 93.30 for horse number 76. horse number 77, AJ Rafida, owned by Rashid bin Abdullah Al-Shuwaihi. For type, 19, 18.5, 19, 19, 19.5, 19.5, and 19.5. For head and neck, 18.5, 18.5, 19.5, 19, 19, 19, and 19. For body and top line, 17.5, 18, 18.5, 18, 18, 18, and 18. For legs, 15.5, 15.5, 15.5, 15.5, 15, 15.5, and 15. And for movement, 19, 19, 19, 19.5, 19.5, 19.5, and 19. With a total score of 90.70 for horse number 77. The results for horse number 78, DeRosa GA, owned by the Al Sagran Arabian Horse Stud. For type, 19, 19, 19, 19, 19, 19, and 19.5. For head and neck, 19, 19, 19.5, 19, 19, 19, and 19. For body and top line, 18, 18, 18, 18, 18, 17.5, and 18. For legs, 15.5, 15.5, 16, 16, 16, 15.5, and 16. And for movement, 18.5, 18.5, 19, 19, 19, 19, and 18.5. With a total score of 90.60 for horse number 78. The results for horse number 79, Nofa AM, owned by His Highness Prince Abdullah bin Fahad Al Saud. For type, 18.5, 19, 19, 19, 19, 19, and 19. For head and neck, 18.5, 19, 19.5, 19, 19, 19, and 19. For body and top line, 18, 18, 18, 17.5, 17.5, 18, and 18. For legs, 15, 16, 16, 15.5, 15.5, 16, 16. For movement, 19, 19, 19, 18.5, 18, 19, and 18.5. With a total score of 90.50 for horse number 79. results for horse number 81, D. Gala, run by the Dubai Arabian Horse Stud. Owned by Abdulaziz bin Hussein Al Marzougi. For type, 18.5, 18.5, 19, 18.5, 19, 19, and 19. For head and neck, 18.5, 18, 19, 19, 19, 18.5, and 19. For body and top line, 17.5, 17.5, 18, 17.5, 17.5, 17.5, and 17. For legs, 15, 15, 15.5, 15.5, 15.5, 15, and 15. For movement, 18.5, 18, 19, 18.5, 18.5, 18.5, and 18.5, with a total score of 88.80 for horse number 81. Results for horse number 82, Amirat Al-Bassan, owned by the Al-Bassan Stables. For type, 19, 19, 19, 19, 19, 19, and 19.5. For head and neck, 19, 19, 19, 19, 19, 19, and 19.5. For body and top line, 18.5, 18.5, 18, 18, 18, 18.5, and 18. For legs, 15.5, 15, 16, 15.5, 15.5, 15, and 15.5. For movement, 17.5, 17.5, 19, 18, 18, 18, and 18.5. With a total score of 89.60 for horse number 82. The results for horse number 83, D. Farhuda, owned by Yusuf bin Muhammad Al Rashid. For type, 19, 18, 18.5, 18.5, 18.5, 18.5, and 19. For head and neck, 18.5, 18, 18.5, 18, 18, 18, and 18.5. For body and top line, 17.5, 18, 17.5, 18, 17.5, 18, and 18. For legs, 15, 15.5, 16, 16, 15.5, 15.5, and 16. For movement, 19, 19, 19.5, 19, 18.5, 19, and 19.5. With a total score of 89.40 for horse number 83. The results for horse number 84, D. Zahira, owned by Hadif bin Salem Al-Hamli. For type, 19, 18, 18.5, 18.5, 18.5, 18.5, 19. For head and neck, 18.5, 18, 18.5, 17.5, 18, 18.5, and 18.5. For body and top line, 17.5, 17.5, 17.5, 17.5, and 17.5, 18, and 18. For legs, 15.5, 15.5, 16, 16, 15.5, 15.5, and 15.5. For movement, 19.5, 19, 19.5, 19, 19.5, 19, and 19.5, with a total score of 89.40 for horse number 84. And the results are in for the last horse in this class, horse number 85, A.J. Sarai, owned by the Ajman Stud. For type, 19.5, 19.5, 19.5, 19.5, 19.5, 19, and 19.5. For head and neck, 19.5, 19.5, 19.5, 19.5, 19.5, 19, 19.5. For body and top line, 18.5, 18, 18, 18, 18, 18, and 18. For legs, 16, 16, 16, 16, 16, 16, 15.5. And for movement, 19, 19.5, 19.5, 19.5, 19.5, 19, and 19, with a total score of 92.30 for horse number 85. And for the results for class number 3, for fillies aged 2 years, in section B. In first place is horse number 76, D. Ajayab, owned by the Dubai Arabian Horse Stud, with a total score of 93.30 points. In second place is horse number 75, Kamuna Al Zubair, owned by Sheikh Abdullah bin Mohammed Al Thani, with a total score of 92.30 points. In third place is horse number 85, A.J. Sarai, owned by the Ajman Stud, with a total score of 92.30 points. In fourth place is horse number 73, Faridat Al-Bustan, owned by the Al-Bustan Stables, with a total score of 92.30 points. And in fifth place, horse number 72, Nahawand Al-Zubair, owned by Sheikh Mohammed bin Abdullah Al Thani, with a total score of 91.80 points.
ندعو السيد سعد بن عبد الله السبيعي مالك مربط المعود يتفضل مشكورا بتسليم الجوائز على الفائزين. تهانينا طبعا للفائزين اللي هم في المركز الاول مربط دبي للخيول العربيه. تهانينا المهندس توحيدي، تهانينا وتستاهلون الناموس ايضا في المركز الثاني اللي هو للشيخ عبد الله بن محمد بن علي آل ثاني، وفي المركز الثالث مربط عجمان، وفي المربط الرابع وفي المركز الرابع مربط البستان، وفي المركز الخامس الشيخ محمد بن عبد الله آل ثاني. تهانينا للفائزين في هذه الفئة، فئة طبعا المهارات بعمر سنتين القسم باء الشوط الثاني، ونتمنى التوفيق للجميع ان شاء الله. ان شاء الله بعد مراسم تسليم الجوائز سنتوقف لمدة ربع ساعة فقط ان شاء الله، وبعدين نستأنف البطولة. اهلا دكتور عمر. اذا يسعدنا ان نرحب بالاخ الكريم سعاده الاستاذ عبد الرحمن بالشوارب عضو اللجنه المنظمه لهذه البطوله اللي يشرفنا ايضا بالحضور بالتواجد هنا وبالسؤال، ونتمنى له كل التوفيق ان شاء الله. البني وين؟ اذا نرحب بالسيد سيف الدعيفس صاحب مربط لكي للخيول العربية. تهانينا للاخوان الفائزين ونتمنى لهم كل التوفيق ان شاء الله، والاخوان اللي ما حالفهم الحظ ان شاء الله في الاشواط القادمة ان شاء الله.